Finance, Insurance, and Section 16 Lands Committee will come to order. Please note in attendance are myself as chairperson, Mr. Don Crowdis as vice chair, Dr. Bud Cloutier as committee member, Mr. Greg Harding, Mr. Michael Legord, Mr. Dane Boisin, Mr. Roger Dale Dehart, our president, Dr. Maybelle Trahan, Mr. Bubba Ogeron, and members of his staff. Item number 2, consideration of approval of bid received for hunting and trapping lease on Section 16 lands. This is presented by Ms. Allie Dugas, purchasing agent. Ms. Dugas? Did you want to talk about it before I present them? Okay.
Unless you have any
The
questions.
committee recommends that the board approve and accept the following highest bids received, meeting all specifications for hunting and trapping lease on Section 16's lands for a 5-year period beginning September 4th, 2024 through September 3rd, 2029. Allow the purchasing department to re-advertise those sections where no bid was received and/or those sections in which leases were surrendered, and further authorize the board president to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto. Moved by Dr. Cloutier, seconded by Mr. Crowdis. Any public comment? Ms. Dugas, you have anything that,
The,
Dr.
the current bid is $6,005, so it has gone up since then.
Dr. Cloutier? Mr. Crowdis? My only question is, I see that a lot of times these come up at different times of the year. Is it better for the purchasing department to have them spread out, or would you rather have them all at one time?
Personally, I'd rather them all be at the same time, but in the past, it's kind of when they're given up, or, because sometimes people give up their leases, or when they expire, and the current lessee would like, if they are awarded, they'd like to continue their lease, right after it expires. In this particular case, the current lessee was not awarded, and then a lot of them would like to get their leases before alligator season, which I don't think this one is quite making
Yeah,
it.
this one's not
No.
making that.
No, if the current lessee would have had it, he would have been fine for the, for this year, but he will not.
So I know our fiscal year is July 1 through June 30. Is that a bad time to have to deal with these?
That's actually my preference. I like having all of our bids done before, that way everything starts July 1st. It's just, and once we get to like December, towards the end of the year, if we can let it wait a little while to advertise the next bid, then, we'll try to push them as close to July as we can, but
So is there a maximum or minimum we're allowed? So I know a lot of times we're doing 5 years, but could we do, say, in this case, 5 years and 9 months to make it to June 30th? Or would it have to be shorter than 5 years?
that I'm not sure. I know campsite leases, you're allowed 10 years.
Okay.
And that's actually something that a lessee has asked me to look into, if we can do a 10-year lease for hunting and trapping. So that is something I'm looking into.
I just think it makes more sense to have them at the same time of the year, all of them, so that way people are aware, the public's aware, they can plan ahead, and they know that, come April or May, they're
This
gonna
is
look
when
for
they're
those
coming out.
advertisements.
Absolutely. I get
Yeah.
emails weekly about
Yes.
hunting leases.
So.
And it might just be something as simple as the board agreeing to allow leases over 5 years.
Yeah, so
But as
let's
soon
have
as I know that-
conversation about that when you
Absolutely.
have more time. Okay, thank
And
you.
honestly, I'm not sure if anyone even knows that, because I've asked questions about hunting leases to, the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, different state people that do bid laws and stuff like that, and no one seems to know the answers.
Okay, sounds good. Any other board members? Any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Dugas.
You're welcome.
For item 3, I actually have a substitute motion I'd like to present. So this substitute motion is, the committee would like to present for consideration of approval to renew the contract with ink and toner cartridges, and this is presented also by Ms. Dugas. The committee recommends that the board approve and accept the renewal of the contract for ink and toner cartridges from the Treehouse P.O. Box 413, Norwood, Massachusetts, 02062, for a 12-month period beginning December 7th, 2024, under the same terms and conditions.
Yes.
Moved by Dr. Cloutier, seconded by Mr. Crowdis. Any public comment? Ms. Dugas?
We currently have, this is our final year that we can extend this contract, and last year we actually had the same situation where we had to revise the recommendation, I believe, because we didn't know whether or not HP would renew the Treehouse's current pricing, but they have agreed as of today that they're going to renew the pricing for the next year. That way we can continue with the Treehouse. If we do go out for bid, we're likely to get higher prices.
Okay. Dr. Cloutier?
Yeah, the only question I had was, I like to see us purchase as much stuff as possible local. And obviously, the Treehouse is a much better price than anything local.
Yes, they're not local, and we do still order some ink and toner cartridges from Steyr. Since they are our instructional vendor and we are using instructional technology funds to purchase the majority of these toner cartridges, if they do have a lower price, we do allow the schools to purchase from them instead. They just have to prove for auditing purposes that the price is lower than the Treehouse.
Gotcha.
Which it happens in some cases.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Crowdis?
I had the same question, you just answered.
Yeah, so that's my only comment is, if we're being good stewards of the people's money, then you
Absolutely.
guys are kind of setting the standard for that, and
Yes,
you
and-
do all that.
And we do have a clause in our bid stating that if we do find a lower price than the bid price, that will allow our schools to go with the lowest price. So our vendors do know that when they're bidding on the contract, that even though they win, we do have the chance to order from like state contract or a cooperative purchasing group or
Okay.
something like that.
Any other board members? Any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Dugas. Item number 4, matter bearing upon monthly budget to actual comparison report and monthly sales tax collection update from Ms. Klingman, Supervisor of Finance.
Hi, good evening. The sales tax is a decrease of 6.35%, and that's for the month of June. So June 23 to June 24 was a decrease.
Any board members, any comments? I know I'm not going to touch it this time.
Thank you.
Exactly. We already
I don't
know
have
what I'm
that
thinking.
crystal ball, wish I did.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. There being no further business come before the Finance Section 16 Lands Committee, I pass the meeting back over to you, Dr. Newbell. Thank you.